Welcome to Mum Abroad's YouTube channel, where I'm joined today by Alessia Barbieri, a mother and health coach who follows the philosophy of traditional Chinese medicine and Qi Gong, a mind-body-spirit practice that improves one's mental and physical health by integrating posture, movement, breathing, and meditation. Alessia is now based in Rome, but has lived abroad for 15 years in Argentina, Finland, and the USA. Hi, Alessia.
Hi, Jane. Thank you very much for having me here today.
Thank you for joining me. Alessia, you're a certified life coach who specializes in Qigong coaching. Can you tell us something about your journey to becoming a coach?
Yes, thank you. Well, I think it started a long time ago when I was a child. Even when I was a child, when I started watching the movies of Star Wars, and I was so much attracted by the idea of having the Force within me and helping others to be healed or to be guided, and it was something that I always felt inside of myself. Also, I'm coming from a family that has always been interested in the Eastern philosophies, religions. So my father was reading about the third eye, Tibetan um, histories. So for me, it was very normal, and from very little, I felt that I wanted to do something for others. But then it came more clear when I started to travel around the world with my husband. At the beginning, I thought about coaching as a portable career, but not only that, because I felt the urge to be there for someone, and also coaching and qigong showed me that they were very helpful for myself too, because living abroad is not easy, and we have to face challenges, both cultural challenges, and you have to adapt, integrate yourself with new cultures and way to think, and you have to help your family to be more settled and integrated, and sometimes it's not easy. So I found that these two tools were very helpful for me and my family, first of all. So I started, for example, in Argentina. I started with astrology. It was a psychological astrology that has a faculty in Oxford. And I started there coaching with the birth charts. Then it had an evolution, because in Finland I went deeper with this Oxford faculty, and then I understood that there was something in the birth chart that was talking about the energy of people. And meanwhile, I was also starting with Tai Chi and Qigong and studying traditional Chinese medicine. And I believe that these two tools were talking to each other, and they were expressing to me, showing to me the magic inside of the human being, and how we could use this wholeness to be in touch with our internal true self.
I mentioned in the introduction that Qigong integrates posture, movement, breathing, and meditation. So can you explain a little bit how that works exactly, how those things come together?
How long do we have? Well, don't let me talk about this, because it's going to be never ending, but I will try to be brief. It's a human being thing. So we are made of all these aspects inside of our human being, body, mind, and chi. Now we also have chi, we have energy, we have the energy of the consciousness. So we understand in Qigong and traditional Chinese medicine, or even in the classical one, that we are an holistic wholeness. So we can combine. You can notice that when you don't feel very well physically, also your emotions and your mind sway a little bit, and you are affected by external factors, both internal factors. So we combine everything together. We watch the person as a whole, and we consider the emotion, the thoughts, everything as a possible tool to feel better, or also they can affect us negatively. So we can act on those and create a transformation that usually is very helpful. So, for example, Qigong works very much posture on the spine, on the column, and nowadays we know that also in Western medicine there are many theories that are considering the vagus nerve as a very important, fundamental for the health of a person. And now we also know that in Chinese medicine that's very important too, because along the spine we have nerves, but we have also the connection between our essence in the kidneys and our brain. So that's why a healthy spine means also healthy emotions, and generally a very vital mood and body. So it's all related. So we consider everything together, and one affects the others.
So you work specifically on keeping emotions in balance. Why is that so important?
First of all, I think that for us that we have been traveling abroad so many years, we know how uncomfortable it is to feel not stable, not steady, have to deal with our internal movements, turmoils. I think that once we find our balance in emotion, the harmony, the internal harmony, we are actually free. Once we understand the power that our mind and thoughts have on our health, we actually are the masters of our own life. We can decide everything else from there. Once we are balanced, we can decide to reach any other goal, or we have our mind clear enough to understand the difference between a possible goal and an impossible mission. So we try not to waste too many energies on something that it's impossible. We learn how to accept what we cannot change, and of course we find the strength to try to reach our possible goals and objectives in life.
Alessia, who might benefit from Qigong coaching?
Actually, everyone. First of all, because Qigong coaching is both verbal therapy, both physical. So it's adaptable. It's not a set rule. You meet the individual, you meet the person, the client, and you understand, you talk to them and you understand what are their needs, what could be something that they really wouldn't like to do. And so the Qigong coaching is really involving everything, and you can do both. So it has been working even with kids, because I have a son with ADHD. So when we were in United States and we had the diagnosis for him, we started immediately working on his spine and noticing the benefits, because as I said, the spine works on so many aspects. But also with seniors, I have had 96 years old clients working with me. So everything is adaptable. So it's really for everyone. It doesn't have any limitation. Everyone. But I usually work with adults, mostly women.
And what would a coaching session look like? Can you explain that to us?
Yes, it always depending on why the client refers to me. Let's say sometimes it's self-esteem, sometimes it's learning how to express their own voice, finding their own path, understanding who they really are. We first of all observe the person, and it's not only what they are telling me, but also the way they are talking, their expressions. I'm also behavioral analyst. Sorry. So I also watch their constitution in Chinese medicine terms, And we try to understand what they're looking for. Let's say somebody comes for anger management. So we first talk, we try to look for the causes. And we in Qigong use a lot a method that it's called inward seeking, that looks a little bit like introspection, but it's not exactly the same thing. It's much deeper. And so we start an observation internally very deeply. We always look for the causes internally and never outward. So it's a different style. And then accordingly to what the person is able or willing to do, we can work on exercises. For example, in this case, we would work on the liver energy, because it is where the anger could come from. Try to transform this anger into something more positive. Of course, it's not a magic wand. We need time and perseverance and discipline. To the person really needs to want. They need to feel the urge to change for a transformation. And also with this tool of the Qigong, it's going to be easier to perceive these changes. So sometimes we do some exercise as well. They can be very easy, they can be more complicated. It depends what they want. But they always have homework. So they have to work also outside the session, because, as I said, it's a path. It's not something that you achieve without a sense of deep responsibility towards yourself. In fact, Qigong, it's a branch of the traditional Chinese medicine that is actually requiring the person to do something actively for themselves.
You offer online coaching, and you also see clients face to face in your practice in Rome. And you've recently established a new online course called Be Extraordinary. Can you tell us more about that?
Oh, yes. Thank you. This Be Extraordinary is a mix, a combination between a coaching program and a Qigong course. So we have theory to understand why we are working on certain exercise, why we are moving toward a certain direction. And it's called Be Extraordinary because every time that we do something to change ourselves a little, and we learn how to perceive things that you had no clue before that you could feel and have inside of your body, feeling the movement of energy, listening to your thoughts, be able to act on your thoughts positively, makes you an extraordinary person, actually. So it's a gaze on yourself, to do something every day that changes your life and makes you extraordinary, because every time that we do something more for ourselves, we will actually be out of the norm. And that's also something encouraging for us, and you say, well done, good job. And it's a good way to face our progress.
Alessia, what do you think makes you stand out as a coach?
Well, today I think that this integration and combination of the two perspectives, both the Western view and the Eastern philosophies and wisdom, can create a modern language. So we can actually talk to everyone, because it's even beyond the words. So these two aspects are really talking about wholeness, and that's what we want to reach. That's the goal of all the practices we are doing with these two methods.
I know that you're also quite a linguist, and I wondered if you work with clients in different languages.
Yes, first of all, I am Italian, so definitely in Italian, in English, because it's the language I learned everything in. And yes, Spanish and Portuguese. Well, my husband is from Argentina, so Spanish is our second language, and Portuguese, it's something beautiful that I learned so many years ago and still talk. Yes.
And just to end, Alessia, can you tell me what you love most about your work?
Being with the people, with people. I love the people I met. They are my opportunity to opportunity of growth, and I really enjoy very much being with them.
Well, thank you very much for joining me today, Alessia. Really interesting to hear more about what you do. I'm going to put your website address at the bottom of the screen now. So if anybody wants to find out more about your services and how you work, or your contact details, they'll find them there. So that just leaves for me to say thank you very much.
Thank you, Jane, very much. It was a pleasure. Thanks.